Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sew Fictional Saturday, a series on my channel where I read you a slightly existential story while we do some sewing. Now, if you're looking for an adventuring party that likes to do this sort of thing, and you would like to continue to see this sort of content, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I look forward to working with you. Now, with that out of the way, here's the story. There has been as much beauty in the dark as there has been horror in the light. She needs to believe that, so please, please say I am not a lost cause. The Cairn's eyes held steady, but within them was the futility of its request. It knew. It knew the moment it had slipped away. The Museum of Lost Things never closed, but once one left, it was impossible to find the way back. The establishment was free of charge, but something was always left behind. Whatever she had been treating as a wayfinder in her life to create a cairn, she had let it go. This was always the hardest part about being a curator. Helping the discarded become rehabilitated that they may leave with another guest. This cairn was too solid, too eloquent, too rooted in the material plane to be new, yet so tragically small that it must have rooted deep when she was still a child, becoming overshadowed with time with other coping mechanisms that became stronger while it stayed the same. To look at it, it became clear that it had become fodder for more powerful coping mechanisms, denied the ability to grow and change and adapt alongside everything else around it. The curator cupped the cairn between their hands. Its tiny body quaked between their fingers, coiling even smaller into their palm. No cause is lost, my friend. Their voice held the comforting roll of thunder, inevitable and cathartic. Their mouth had long since disappeared, having no need for them for communication, and no need for them for sustenance. No one wanted to see the staff, and many of the discarded had fears about being consumed by something much bigger than themselves. The fight simply changes. She needs me, she does not, but her need or lack thereof when it comes to you does not define your value, and it does not discard it now that you are separated. You are a thing that is quite small, and your connection no longer facilitated growth for either of you. The time has come for you to part ways, that you may no longer be depleted to fill a purpose that is no longer required. Its tiny face twisted into an expression of pure obstinance. Its eyes, once large and pleading, narrowed into near invisibility. She does need me, she does. She just forgot. That's right, she forgot. And if I'm not around, she'll lose her way again. If that happens, she might not find her way back. She needs a voice, a guiding light you wouldn't understand. A flicker of uncertainty passed over its features. Its small mouth had begun to form, a wide serpentine thing. The creature pressed its lips together in a gesture much like its friend had displayed during her first moments in the museum. Divorced of the friend, a self had begun to emerge. The curator carried the being through the museum, smoke swirling about the floor as they drifted through. The other discarded began to stir, lifting themselves into wakefulness at their passing. While it varied by severity and length of time before separation, it was rare that discarded stayed at the museum long. The halls rang with a calm that denoted a place of healing and freedom from all that came before, which this place represented, both for those who left and those who were left behind. As their silent procession advanced through the corridors, the curator lifted their new friend onto their shoulder, giving them a view of the world around them without being obstructed by them or anyone else. When they were safely in place, the curator responded. She might very well need guidance, but it need not be yours. She may lose her way, but finding her own way back will make her stronger than if she leaned on you every time she deviated. The guiding voice that is most needed right now is her own. Her community will light her way. I may not understand such devotion to a person, but I do understand the need to let go. The creature raised their eyes to the warm orbs floating over them in the ceiling, taking deep contemplation before resting their chin on the curator's shoulder. The lights were hypnotic, comforting. They had never seen such light before, lost in the feeding of other competencies to cast shadow over them. How did you do it? The question came out in a soft sigh, an exhale they hadn't known they needed. Hmm? How do you let go? Slowly. The curator's voice was a soft chuckle, a pattering of falling rain against the glass. It is a series of actions, not even decisions. One focuses on each day as it unfolds, treating each interaction on their own merit. Find self in your responses. Accept what is without judgment. Learn to evaluate how you respond and why without fear or condemnation. It's a feat that takes time. It can be hard to let go of what was and learn to embrace what is. Many do not achieve this across multiple lifetimes. There is no time limit here. No outside force enacting its will upon you. No implications from who you were and who you are and who you will become. They drifted to a stop at a crossing of the corridors. These memories will always be there. Regret is a natural part of growth. Continue to focus on these questions and you will find your own path forward. The curator and their new friend gazed up at the lights, letting the silence wash over them. For now, no one was asking anything of them, and that was enough.